final thing that we're going to discuss today, which is surrounding the post-bye week adjustments that we want to see from this team, man. We're basically just looking to find a couple of areas, specifically like 3 areas, that we want to see a distinctive or a noticeable uptick in coming out of the bye. All right, so y'all drop it in the comment section as well. We'll end it with this. All right, but for me, man, a couple of things that I had was this. I was looking at the secondary, and I would like to see more detail with them. And the detail that I'm looking for specifically is with their tackling. Think about, we've had multiple long runs that have taken place exclusively because of a DB's lack of tackling, right? Those type of things have equated to points being on the board. Fill flipping plays. We got to tackle better. So that was the first thing. The second thing was the communication when they're passing some of these routes. With the way that we've been rotating our personnel with some of the groupings that we're using, you have to talk with different people. You got to be on the same page communication-wise, though, to make sure that we're tighter in some of these coverages that we're running, so that way we're not having multiple receivers with 100-plus yards and dudes that we don't even feel should be having that type of success against us. That will ultimately hinder that. So we need communication, better communication on passing some of those routes. And then the last thing I had with the secondary was with the personnel groupings. I talked about it a little bit right there. We use a lot of groupings. Either we need to get all on the same page, or we need to minimize said personnel groupings, because there are times where it's a lot of miscommunication, but there's also times where it's more so, I don't know how you're reading this, or I don't know how you're going to play this every time. And I do feel like that has had a little bit of a negative impact, but that's a byproduct of some of the groupings that we've used. Multiple inside linebackers, multiple safety groupings. We just got a lot of different bodies out there right now. And yeah, it's a lot harder to play fast when you're questioning, how does he see that all the way? Do you see like that thing every single time? So that's the big thing with the secondary. So first thing was secondary detail. Second thing that I want to see in terms of the uptick, my man KPA, Kenny Pickett, more so the management of him. I want to see continued selective shots from him. I don't need him to go out here and try to be crazy with it. Selective shots. Pick and choose the spots. It doesn't have to be a lot of it. I also want to see just more of the easier reads on him. Can't give me 4 stop routes on 3rd and 8. I need better than that. And that's on Matt Canada. I need better than that. But give him more just easy read, easy completion throws. I think that will help his rhythm. I think that'll also help his confidence out.
Give him some high-low reads or something like that.
It'll help his confidence out. So that's definitely one of the things. And for him, just be you. I feel like at times I question how much he hears along with when he's out there, especially in the first couple of games, the mindset of this is how it has to be versus this is how I do it. And I think for him, and when you're early in your career, we all go through that phase. What is expected versus how I do it. And I think for him, as long as he can just continue to be who he is and not try to be what we think a variation of a QB1 is or what 7 was or anybody else, I think for him, man, he will thrive. But he has to just continue to be him, not anybody else. Don't try to keep it with that. Don't try to throw this. Don't try to respin this. Nah, do you, bro. Be you. If you do that, man, you're going to be fine. And then my last part was with GP and 30, I just want them to get featured a little bit more. We can start scheming that up a little bit better. We saw glimpses of it in the second half versus Baltimore. We've had a whole bye week now. That needs to be seen a lot more because those two guys have shown that they give you the best chance right now to move your offense on a consistent basis through running game and passing game. So I would like to see a lot more of them being featured going forward out the bye.
I like that. Mine are pretty simple, and we've talked about these last week in a way, and it doesn't look like 2 of the 3 are happening. 1 was Fire Canada, 2 start Broderick Jones, and
in fact, we got the opposite of Fire Canada, bro.
Yeah, 3 start JPJ. Yeah, there was a report that came out that we have no plans on firing Canada, and he's going to be the guy for us going forward, which is fine. Whatever. I mean, we know that. I'm a Matt Canada fan now. It's all we got to work with. I hope he improves. So to play off, I guess, what did I say my third? I didn't say the third one.
Third.
Yeah, second was start Broderick Jones. Doesn't look like that's happening. Dan Moore might be getting the start this week against LA. And then the third one would be have JPJ start for the defense. But like the reasoning behind each one is like the Fire Matt Canada thing. It's like this offense just needs to be better. The schemes, the play calls all need to be better. And yes, the players do need to play better too. O-line needs to improve. Receivers need to get open. Kenny needs to hit some more reads, hit some more guys. Pretty much as simple as that. Like, offense, just get back to being competent like you were at the end of 2022. That's it. So it's everyone there. Deontay's coming back. That's naturally going to help. Muth coming back. That should help. The O-line, I offered my solution as my number 2 here with Broderick Jones. Like, I think if you put Broderick Jones at left tackle, that should help the O-line, particularly in the run game. James Daniel getting healthy. Hopefully that helps, but I don't know if that solves our center issue we've been having these first 5 weeks. You could move James Daniel to center and then Herbig out to the right guard. But
I do feel like
maybe we give Cole the benefit of the doubt. Let's see how he looks coming. We're going up against Aaron Donald.
You have a lot more size with James Daniels at center and Nate Herbig at guard. So that is an alternative. I think it would help with run game, definitely. But, yeah. You're right. We got Aaron Donald coming to town, man.
So those would be all factors in play as to why our offense should get better after the bye. Just getting healthier. We could start Broderick. We're not. But I think this team's – I think it's going to continue to build. I mean, we do got young players and stuff. As bad as it has looked these first 5 weeks, it should be only going up from here. And thank God that we have 3 wins under our belt during what probably was the worst time for this offense for this season.
If this is supposed to be the worst that we're going to look offensively – and we've been able to win in spite of. Just imagine when we actually start to click. That's the beautiful part of this thing, man.
And then the JPJ thing, because that's the thing that sticks out to me on defense. I like what our inside linebackers doing. Have we been sketchy at times with the run defense? I feel like Cam coming back is going to help with that. Yeah. And I thought they did a decent job against the Ravens. Yeah. In the run defense.
And then Marvin Leal's supposed to be, I think he cleared the concussion protocol.
Yeah, so I've been liking what he's been doing. And then you talk about Keanu Benton, Ogunjobi, and then obviously TJ Watt, Highsmith. They've been on another level. So I like that front 7, the pass rush, inside linebacker. I like what they've been doing. The thing that's just been sticking out is the secondary. Yeah. So that needs to improve. And you kind of talked about ways of doing that, and I'm going to give the JPJ option. Start him. I think that could help as well.
You know I love the JPJ option.
Those would be my 3 things. Like the 3 like big headline were, fire Canada. Yeah. Start Broderick. Start JPJ. But like the crux of all of them, the offense needs to improve. That's the whole Broderick Canada thing. Play call schemes, O-line. Yeah. Kenny get a little bit better here. Receivers get open more. And then defense, I think secondary's just got to improve.
Nah, I'm with you, bro.
We got to be able to trust them better on the back end.
X Concepts also brought up more play action pass. How you feel about that, man?
Something different.
Yeah.
Something.
We open for any type of anything, okay? We open for it all.
Yeah, because we were doing that a lot last year. We were running the ball. We had our identity. Yeah. And then Kenny would step up on third downs or late in the games. And it worked.
And we also know when the running game does become more consistent, the play action pass will be a lot more effective. And we saw that also in the second half of the season versus first half. So, yeah, we got some options with that thing. Lonnie, I see you asked when is Cam coming back. We don't know just yet. We know he had surgery. So that's one of the reasons why for him it was going to be a little bit elongated in contrast to Anthony McFarland, who was back at practice today, Deontay Johnson, who was back at practice today. Both of them dudes been on IR, so they start their 21-day window. That's the difference. They weren't surgical, from my understanding, whereas obviously with Cam it was surgical, so that's just going to naturally take a little bit longer. But they initially said about 8 weeks, right? Initially that was, I thought, what the synopsis he said earlier for him.
Yeah, he said it was going to be a quicker timeline than that, but we're coming up on the 8 weeks. Right. This is going to be week 7.
Because you said it was supposed to have been the game after the bye.
Yeah.
So we shall see with that, though, man. We shall see. Rod Dollar also brought up more 2-back formations. I love that, man. Najee and Jalen Warren out there together. We've seen some of the stuff that they were able to have success with in that Ravens game. I do think that is something that we could utilize more of.